This is Assignments Clarified for periods 3 and 7 for the week of April 27th through May 1st. For your daily do nows, make sure you respond and you check in every day. No check in equals 0 points. Usually there is a right or wrong question that's posted. Correct questions receive 5 points for the check in. Incorrect questions receive 1 point for the check-in. No shows receive 0 points. You are responsible to check the news feed each day. This week, our focus is on Romeo and Juliet Act 4. You may watch the live streaming or you may read Act 4 directly from the online version. Ms. Melendez and I have uploaded an online version to the EDSB library. Act 4 begins on page 71. The next live streaming will be Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. That will be your last opportunity this week to view the 10-minute showing of Act 4 Romeo and Juliet. When you view, be prepared. Have your computer open to SparkNotes Act 4. I use SparkNotes to help clarify or fill in the gaps of something I may not be mindful of. The text is difficult. The language, Shakespearean language, is difficult and complex. Use SparkNotes to help you. Read SparkNotes for Act 4 before you even watch the video. You also want to make sure you download a copy of the text. Since your study questions this week require you to cite the text and refer to the text, go ahead and follow along with the text as you watch the play so you know where to locate the answers. When you attend the Zoom meeting, please make sure you use an identifiable name. I will not admit you into the Zoom live session if I do not recognize your name. Use an identifiable name to be admitted to the session. Arrive promptly at 9:30 tomorrow morning, Wednesday, April 29th. The meeting will lock 3 minutes later, and that is the final viewing for Act 4 this week. You also have to complete the Romeo and Juliet Act 4 study questions. It must be typed, not handwritten. Anytime you type, include a heading in the upper right that includes your name, class period, date. You must include a title on the title line. You can title it Romeo and Juliet Act 4 study questions. Notice Romeo and Juliet is italicized. It's the title of a long play. When you type, always use Times New Roman size 12. If you forget to do that when you start typing, select all on the document, change the font to Times New Roman size 12. Okay? When you double space, don't double space your answers, double space between numbers. So make sure you double space between 1 and 2. But whatever you type as your answer in number 1 doesn't need to be double spaced. Let me repeat that. Since you're doing numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way 22 questions, you don't have to double space the whole document. So you'll start number 1 and then you just single space your answers. But before you move to number 2, you need there to be double space. So between each of the numbers, all 22 of your questions, there needs to be double space. But your individual answer doesn't have to be double spaced. You will upload your work to Turnitin.com. Turnitin.com is a plagiarism checker. Plagiarism checks, when you plagiarize, you have to do your own work, okay? To avoid plagiarism, do your own work. Plagiarism is the act of stealing or borrowing somebody else's thoughts or works without giving them credit. Turnitin.com will find you out. It shows me exactly where the source came from. Look, don't share the questions with any friends. Don't say, hey, can I have you got the questions from Miss Hightower? Turnitin.com is going to show me exactly the student, exactly the paper, exactly the source, where it came from. It results in a 0 for the assignment and a discipline referral to your principal. Do your own work. To avoid plagiarism, do your own work. Look, don't even put the work of somebody else in your own words and try and just tweak words. Turnitin.com will find that out as well. Just do your own work. Read the question, write the answer, cite evidence, okay? This is due at 3:40 Friday. Additionally, for this assignment, you get to choose your grade aim. If you want an A, answer all questions. Here you'll answer all of the questions, okay? And there are 24 of them. You can set your paper up just like this. Review, answer the 4 questions. Act 4, Scene 1, answer 5 questions. Act 4, Scene 2, answer the 2 questions. 4-3, answer the 4 questions. 4-4, 1 question. 4-5, 6 questions. You'll do all of those for an A aim. For a B aim, omit the review. Just don't do these 4 review questions, but you'll do 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, 4-5. Okay? Now, let me point out, some of these questions have multiple parts. For example, it says, who's the most responsible for Juliet's death? These people. Why? So you answer who you feel is the most responsible and you say why. Here's another example. Act 4, Scene 1. Why does Friar Lawrence agree to help Juliet by giving her this potion? That's one question, but it's all a part of number 5 under Scene 1, Act 4. What could he have done instead? 2 questions. Is he responsible for Juliet's ultimate death? You need to answer all 3 of those questions in a thoughtful response, okay? So if your question has multiple parts, in order to receive credit, you must answer all of the multiple parts. To aim for a B, as I said, omit the review questions. To aim for a C, there's no C aim for this assignment, okay? So the lowest grade you can receive is an 80. Each answer must include textual reference for MLA citation. You have to have a textual reference for each one of those answers. You just can't tell me what you think without citing evidence from the play. Remember, Shakespeare, you'll write the act number, the scene number, and the line number. Notice the dot, then the line number. Notice it's in parentheses. If your answers do not have MLA citation, your work will be rejected. Write in complete sentences and do not write the question. Just answer in complete sentences, cite evidence from the text, and include parenthetical citation for each answer. Okay? Romeo and Juliet Act 4 Graphic Organizer. This is by Miss Melendez. You'll direct any questions about the graphic organizer to Miss Melendez. I believe you're doing the same thing with the graphic organizer for Act 4 that you've done for the previous acts. You want to upload it directly to SB. Do not send it as an SB message. We cannot receive your work in SB messages. Upload to SB as an assignment. And you have until Monday, May 4th to turn this assignment in, and it's worth 20 points. Your independent reading for your April book, you have 10 why questions for pages 91 through 119. Now, those of you who are splitting your book, March, April split, of course you aren't starting your page numbers with 91 for your 10 why questions. The split is what, at about page 150? So what's 150 plus 91? Let's see. Let me pull up my calculator real fast. 150 plus 91 is 241. So your page numbers will be from 241, 150 plus 119 to 269. Okay, so that should be the page range of your questions, those of you who split the book. Now, for this assignment, before you write your why question, so you'll start your paper. Number 1, well, I need to see that you have 2 to 3 sentences explaining what is happening in the text, and then I will see your why question. If I only see 10 why questions, your work will be rejected. Okay, so I'll see 1 through 10, but before I see the question, I will see 2. That is not an option. It's not a suggestion. I will see 2 to 3 sentences of you explaining what's going on in the text, and then you'll write your question. I will accept a how question. No other questions other than how or why will be accepted. I also look at the quality of your question to see that you're writing thoughtful questions. I can tell if you're writing a frivolous question just for the assignment. So it definitely should reflect critical thinking and thought about what the author's doing or what's happening in the text. Okay? You will submit this assignment to turnitin.com. Again, turnitin.com is a plagiarism checker. It will alert me if you've done your own work or not. Please do your own work. Do not share your work with another classmate. Do not go to the internet to receive help. any support, do your own work. If you violate plagiarism, you get an automatic 0 that you cannot recover for the assignment, and you receive a discipline referral to your principal. This is due by 11:59 Friday. If you have an IEP or 504, it goes without saying you already know that you have one extra day in addition to the deadline. Now, you don't get 2 to 3 extra days or a full week with an IEP or 504. If you need more than one extra day and you have a 504 and IEP, your parent has to send a request. Okay? So those of you who need extra time requests, those must be received by 8 a.m. on the day it is due. Don't forget to include the page number on your assignment. That's where I check to see that it's between the allotted pages. And those of you who have a March-April split, remember it should show 91 pages from 150. Okay, if you want credit on the assignment. Finally, for your daily homework, you know you're supposed to be reading your April book. We don't take any days off, 7 pages a day. This week, 91 through 119. And if you're splitting, I've already shared with you, it should start 91 pages from 150. You want to make sure you're accurate. Giving you a heads up, you'll be completing a dialectical journal for Romeo and Juliet. This is the tentative grade aim. I may change some part of the assignments, but you want to begin to collect assigned quotes for each act. Okay, so this lets you know about the grade aim. If you have any questions, if you need anything further clarified, if you'd like to meet with me for a one-on-one Zoom, just pop in, send me a message with Hightower. May you review this? Can I meet with you? I have a question about something. I would be more than happy to meet with you in a quick Zoom meeting. Otherwise, you can send questions in Etsby and I'll respond accordingly. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope y'all are having a good week. Stay safe, stay inside, and I'll see you in Etsby or on Zoom.